us physically present. Good afternoon, long time. Since last week, I mean, we met last. It's a little bit We are welcome to this segment. And those of us online, you're also welcome. Okay?
Thank you.
It's a pleasure meeting you always. So let's see what we can do today. I learned there was an assignment with some of us, but we'll look at that at the day end. Is that okay? We can start with the past tense, the present tense. So let's look at present now. When we finish present, we can deal with that. But let's look at today's topic. So today's topic is still very, very important and serious, but not that difficult. This is called cost of what? Capital. If you check your course outline, it's very clear there. We should talk about cost of capital. We should talk about estimation or evaluation of different sources of what? Fund. And the last one, which we call WACC, weighted average cost of capital, or what we call overall, capital. And that capital is more important than the separate. But we have to take our time. And we're going to do a lot of calculations. Our knowledge of IRR, very important. I hope you know. It's very important, which I believe we all know, but we'll still remind some of us if there's anything that is so difficult. When we say cost of capital, from that word, cost of what? Capital. We're simply saying that we want to determine the reward that will be given to somebody that provided fund. Reward that will be provided or that will be given to that person that provided fund for us to run our what? Business. Because most businesses are run on leverage, okay? And when your business is run on leverage, you need to get money from different sources. All these sources must be what? Rewarded. And that reward is the cost of what? Those funds. That is the meaning of cost of capital. And as far as capital structure of an organization is concerned, capital structure of any organization, in most cases, is always divided into three. There must be equity, which is ordinary shares, ordinary share capital. Sometimes there will be preference what? Shares, which is entitled to a fixed dividend. And the third one should be debt, long-term debt or bonds. All these sources of funds, we must pay for them. It does not come cheap. It's not free. Even in finance, we are made to understand there is no free lunch anywhere in the world. If somebody gives you something, there is a reason. It's either you have been nice before, you decided to give you the money. You may even walk to someone and say, I don't have money. Please, can you give me 20,000 naira till the end of the month? The person will decide to give you for an interest, which is the cost of fund. That this 20,000 I'm giving to you, I want you to return back 2,000 naira. The cost of that fund is what the person has just told you. Or the person may decide not to collect anything, either because of your good attitude in the past or your relationship in the past. It's also cost of fund, but it wasn't value the money. So nobody gives you money without a cost. Even the children that we take care of, when we spend on them, we expect good results. Am I correct? That means it's also a reward. So cost of fund is just that reward given to somebody or given to individual that would put money down for the business to run. So we're going to take it one by one. We're going to look for how to calculate, which means it involves small arithmetic. We're going to learn how to calculate cost of debt. We're going to learn how to calculate cost of equity. We're going to learn how to calculate cost of preference share. And probably finally, we're going to look at the overall cost of capital, which we call WACC, or weighted average cost of capital. If we can deal with that today, that would be nice. so that next week we'll conclude it with other more easier one, not challenging. So the first one we're looking at, I haven't told you what is cost of capital. The first evaluation. In case, to add one more, you will agree with me that when we're doing capital budgeting, when we're evaluating it or appraising it, for us to determine which way to go, whether we are to invest in this project or not, it is the cost of capital that we use to do the evaluation. So cost of capital also help for us to take what? Decision on which project to evaluate and which one not to evaluate. In most cases, examination question will give you cost of capital. But now, they want us to calculate the cost of capital. We are starting with this question. This one is costs of long-term debts. Cost of long-term debt. That debt could be debenture, it could be bonds. Already we have told you the meaning of those costs of capital. So for us to talk about debenture, for us to find the costs, this PO will tell you what it is as you progress. You know that when there's a debt, there's always interest. Am I correct? Interest on the debt, which will represent with capital R over 1 plus KD. This thing you are seeing is cost of debt, KD. KD is the cost of debt, which is the cost of capital, cost of this particular debt. And this one will go summation raised to power T, T starting from 1 to what? N, plus PT. Just want to make sure that the term we're going to use, we will not be using various kind of data, so that anytime we see it in another one, we know where we used it before. PT, that should be the terminal value of debt, all over 1 plus K, D, all raised to power N. So, to draw more lines, where PO is a current market price of debt, whether bond or whatsoever it is. R, that's the interest payments on that debt we collected. Our PT is a terminal value of that particular debt. Some will say it's a what is it called? Some will say it's the market value. Some will say it's the face value of that debt, whichever one. Our KG is what we're actually looking for. Cost of debt, which is the cost of capital of this particular debt. So that's cost of debt. What else again is there? And there's a okay. Let me use this one so that you look. It's still the same thing. Doesn't matter. Let me just make somebody, because this one will start from 1 to 6, but that 6 also here, so it doesn't matter. Let me use capital N from opposed to. That's what we use. This is the maturity. Maturity of what? Debt. It's going to mature in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. That's the value of N. And some they use small n, some they use big n. It doesn't matter. N is N in this case. I hope the formula is clear. The formula is clear. Very good. No, we have not solved anything. The formula.
There are so many formulas.
When you are dealing with anything statistics, you need to put in your head, because finance work with statistics, work with mathematics to survive. All you just need to do, the more you practice it, if I can remember it. Because it's practice that makes perfection. So by the time we finish now, you keep on solving. When you solve, you remember the formula. You don't replace. Just it's mass, just small arithmetic. Is it clear? At least that's the formula. Those of us online, have you seen the formula? Avoid it. No, sometimes, let me just tell you this. Avoiding it sometimes, you could be thinking it's going to be so difficult. And you want to avoid it. But there are times in examination, you just understand. They will just tell you the cost of the debt. They will give you cost of equity. They will give you cost of preference. And then give you the capital structure of the company. Tell you to find one. It's easier. Because already I've done the cost of capital for you. Just do this to multiply the proportion and get the answer. So don't worry, don't decide yet. By the time we finish. Or we should leave the topic. Okay, thank you. Because I don't want to be discouraged on what they're saying. Okay. Can we claim the board? Those of us online, how far?
Yes.
Okay. I will write this question on the board. It's very short, so I don't need to. Yes. Okay, small things. Time. There is time. That means to say that at time 1 to end. So that it's okay. I thought that one is normal time. Yes. Tax. Oh. Relax, we'll get it. The Lord is on the truth. See what you are talking about. What the nature must have written is this. Another type. This one is a substitute down. This one is down. BT. So if it is like this, that is tax. So look at it. This one will go solve that there's no tax. When there's no tax, what do we do? This is how to do it. When there's tax, we tell you what to do. When there's a flotation rate, we also tell you to do what to do. We're looking at 3 aspects. Okay. There are more, but we shouldn't go too far. This is the MBS Act. How to do finance. Okay. Thank you. So don't think let's take the question is short. I want to write the question down myself so that you understand. It's only the first question for this number 1. James Limited is a short one. That's right. It is not I would have. So let's take it to the question. James Limited has just issued a 15%, 150,000 debenture with a maturity period of 5 years. After a period of 5 years, the person says calculate the cost of debt. That's the question. And from that question, somebody can begin to know what to do. Our R, which is the interest, Abi, to be 15% of this, Abi, I will be settled. Good. And our terminal value is also 150,000. Terminal value is also 150,000. That's the terminal value. Because for 5 years, terminal value. Our N, we all know is 5, Abi. N is 5. What else again?
Sorry, sir. You said terminal value.
Terminal value, PT, is 150,000. Is that okay? And the current market price is also 150,000. Agreed? That's the price. That's the price of the venture. That's the current market value. That will be the terminal value as well. This one, PO and PT is the same. PO and PT is the same. Our R, 15% of 150,000. What else again? N is 5. Everything is taken care of. What are we looking for? Kg. Again? Is it clear? The formula is clear on the board? We're looking for kg now, which is the cost of debt, Abi. At least I can clean this one. Okay, well, I'll write it, don't worry. I'll write on the board. Now the PO is the current market price. It's what? 150,000. Is it okay? Our R, let's take it easy. 15% of 150,000. Somebody help us. Oh, good. 500. That means you are following. PT is also 150,000. That's the terminal value. And it's 5 years. Then KG, we are looking for rate. So small t, that one is clear. 1 to 5. T is 1. Because 5 years. N and T, that's but the here will start from 1 to 5. And this alone is 5. Yes. And starting from year 1. You know, maturity is 5 years. So you will start from year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. The word. Right. Is it clear?
Why is
and that is the terminal value or the face value. You understand the face value? Face value is, for example, the money you have. The face value is the amount written on that currency. That's the face value. So this debenture, the face value is that what amount you are seeing like this one. That's the face value of this debt. And that's also the current market price of that debt. That's what we're selling it. Or that's what it's called issue. Is that okay? Don't be doing like that. Things are very easy. Very easy.
Hello.
We have not done anything. Have we? We just stated. And I believe in this class, if you have been coming, some summation is not an issue. We have been, and our cash flow, we're going to use cash flow because there's no other way to find KG except internal rate, which I believe is not difficult.
Hello.
The minute that we'll try this, we'll try the never forget that. And when we did that capital project, we told you that's the foundation for this subject, for this course. So we must understand. So we can clean that. Now, is this one I will just clean? I will just put them. Please, right. So immediately you state it, as it's an exam, you just state this alone for them. Yes, ma'am. Stating this alone, there is none. I don't know.
Hello.
What's the local carries? No. Depends on what. Now, stating this is something. Then fixing it like this is something. Then now calculating it always another one. Okay. You know, when there is a challenge, you laugh at it. Are we following? Yeah. are doing well. They are doing something. Right. Are we there? Good. Let me just clean this. Those of us online, are we following? At least this has been stated. We still want to put it back there. PO 150,000. Our R 22 what? All over 1 plus KG. This will be 1, I mean. But let's just leave it at T. Summation. T9 is what? 1 to what? 5 now. Plus, this one is also 150,000. All over 1 plus KG. All raised to power what? So now we can solve. We're going to work on this. This one is a current market price, abi? That's year 0, which will have minus. This one, from year 1 to what? 5. That will be cash flow, abi? This cash flow at time 0, abi? Yeah. This cash flow from year 1 to what? This is another cash flow, which is just year 5 alone, abi? And we now find the net present what? NPV. It is positive. We'll try again to get what? The negative. I know we got
Are we going to start?
Yes. Let's do like this so that you can see. This is our year. Year 0. Year 1 to 5. Year what? 5. This is our cash flow. Cash flow 150 what? With a bracket, abi? Or minus. Then this one is 22,500, abi? This one is not minus. This one is from year 1 to what? 5. Then 150 what? Is it okay? Already we know this, we know this, we know this. But we are trying, abi? Maybe it's try by error. We are trying. Let's try 14%. Maybe. What we try 14% because in most cases, capital from 10 or at least. Most cases, most costs of capital don't go 5%. But let's just try. You can also try 13. You can try 10, but I'm just, it's trial and what? Error. So I'm trying 14 because I'm looking at it. It's possible. Yes, I'm hearing you.
Please, usually when we are trying to find it, we go higher. Why are you coming down?
No, I didn't come down.
Like from
14. I just, no, this is 150%, 150,000, 1%. That's how I want to try 14%. No, this is 15% on this, are they? I agree. So I can say the answer is 15%. Cost of capital is already there. But I want to show you how that thing came. Are we supposed to also do that? Ordinary now would have just, you may not see this in exam. Sometimes it may be more. But we're looking at it, it may be this. But there are sometimes it could be more. Are you following? This is the one they use in selling it. You're not already at the venture, the interest, the cost of 50%. But if you say that's calculated, you can still get 50%. But I want to try. Or other ones that we're going to do now that will not have that kind of thing. Especially the one that has tax. Are you following? The one that has tax or the one that has flotation costs. This may not work. Are you following? Our answer to this question is 50%, I believe, from this end. But let's try and see how the thing will come. Yes. No, these are normal formula. When I'm done with this, I'll be able to do IRR to get this. But I know this is the answer. I know. But I'm just letting you know if there was tax, that can be our answer. Because tax would have affected something. Is that okay? But if you work it down, KG, cost of capital, will be what? 50%. But there are times the amount may not be the same thing there. I follow it. If we run the calculation, it may not be. But how to find this KG, you must know how to do it. If it's not there. Is that okay? Especially when there is tax. But our cost of capital here is 50%. We have seen it. But we can still solve and see the thing come. So I've seen 15. I'm trying 14. I'll try another one, 16. And I'll interpolate. Or 15, depending. But I'm just telling you how to get cost of what? Capital. Because not always that you see 15 and say the answer is 15. The one to also show. But not every time they do 15. And Italian. This one may, because I know I will 15. But let's find out. Is that okay? So we're trying at 14%. And you are aware, our formula is 1 over what? 1 plus r raised to power what? So this 14%. There will be 0.14, Abi. There will be 0.14. So that will be 1.14. So there will be 1, Abi. Present value. So you know the idea. Now that you have gotten this as 1, this one is what? 1 to what? You know, it will not be going straight, except if we have taken our time to say the 1, the 2, we begin to divide. But now I want to know 1 to what? I hope they have not forgotten the formula. Present value what? Ordinary annuity, Abi. Okay. Present value ordinary annuity. The formula is what? 1 minus 1 plus r all over what? You remember this? Oh yeah, now. So what you just put for me here is 0.15. Calculate, let's see. 0.14 here. So that I can get 1 to 5. Have they forgotten these small things? 1 minus 1.14 minus what? 5, Abi? All over 0.14. Somebody press calculator for us. Let's see what that one is. What do you have? This one? 1 minus 1.14 raised to power. Nobody's running the calculation? I am now with the weights.
3.433.
Is it 3.433?
Yeah.
Are you sure? 3.433.
3.433.
3.433. Let me check. I don't know whether. Okay. 433. Maybe one, are we? Or something like that. Okay, let's just make it 4. And this one come. This one will not be 1 over 1.14 all raised to power 5 for this one. Yeah, 5. This last one. It's only 5. So is that 0.6.
519.
Okay, 0.519. 0.519. Oh, sure.
0.519.
0.5195. I mean?
4. It's 3.
Okay, approximately it's 4. I mean? Is it correct?
Sorry, I'm very good. I know how to speak second one.
Okay, now I've got this.
Yes, I got it.
But this one,
Yeah.
and this is the 5th year now.
Oh, okay.
5th year. 1.14
Raised to power 5.
Is that what you all did? Those who got the answer, is that what you did?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But just like saying there's a 1, there's a 2, there's 3, there were 9, 5. And so that's how to do that. So multiply. This will give us 150 brackets 225 Okay. Somebody multiply 22,500 times 3.10.
7724.
7724.
3. 77243.
That one. Okay, this one come 150,000 times this. What do we have? This one? 771.
910.
Like this?
77910.
Okay, 910.
Yes.
Okay. Somebody help us. 77, 140. There's a negative side. Is it positive? Is it positive? Good.
Yes.
So what do we have? 5. I mean minus plus this 5. 5, 3, I mean. Okay, good. This is positive, I mean. So this is our MPV. This is positive. So I need to do one more, I mean. Maybe because this one is 5,000. I'll try 60%. If I try 15, that will be too close. I try 17. And I want to make sure it's minus 20. No, that's 17. 16 is better. That's fast. That's fast. So somebody can even just do something here. Okay, copy. Let's see what we can do. Try an error. No, there's
Now, what percentage are we trying to?
No, the same thing. Cost of capital is always true. But this cost of capital has different components. The first component is debt. So they're all the same. No, debt is capital to run the business. Am I correct? And capital on its own is liability. Okay. So debt is also liability. So the cost of getting debt is always different. Okay. And cost of preference is also debt. But that it's just different. That one is share capital. So.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Are we through with the board?
Hello, sir.
We go just, it's only this place that we need. Let's see whether we can jump to DF at 60%, I mean. Let's just so that we can just get the PV here and use it too. I hope the team is let's see how. So DF at 60%. PV. Okay, so for 16%, this is the one I mean. I think we multiply, we get 150,000. Now, 16%, that is a. Here we what? 5 years. That will be 6, I mean. That will also be 6. So what do we have? Somebody? 3.7.
3.274.
3.274. Down. Okay. Then this one is year 5. It's just to be like it's 1 over 16, 1.16 raised to power 5. Half.
It's 3.2743.
Okay, 3.274. Is it 3? Oh.
3.2743.
Let me help myself. Since the calculators are misbehaving, let's find out. 1 minus bracket open 1.16, 1.16, all raised to the power of negative 5. Divide by 0.16. 3.2743 is correct, Nabi. Now that of the last one, what is it? Yes. 1 divided by 1.16.
0.4761.
0.4761. All right, now multiply. This is what we're looking at with the cash flow, I mean. It's the cash flow we're looking at now. So we're looking at this cash flow with this one, with the discount factor of 16%. So I've gotten the first one, 3,000. Somebody to multiply. 22,500 times 3 points. 22,500.
7367.
672.
The other one is 71.
Okay, this is 71.
417.
417. Is it giving us negative? Good, good, good. So our worry is over. So what's the result here? Minus a bit. 1, 9, 4, 9. 4, 9. 4, 9, 1. Like this. With a bracket. So now that we have gotten the first one positive, second one negative. We'll rest our case and then get the cost of what? Debt. Is that okay? The cost of debt will be easy. Can you have a question? So we'll try 14%. I will try what 16%. Any question?
Sorry, I think you need to confirm it.
Oh, I should confirm it. We can confirm. Which one I will confirm it? This is 140. This is 141.5. That should be minus a bit. This is minus. So it should be minus also. Is it correct? I should not bother myself again. That I have those who are strong. Oh, yeah. So now, what are we looking for? Cost of debt. So cost of debt now, we started with what? 14%. 14% plus this one that is positive, MPV. Let me say this, first MPV, second one, MPV. So first MPV is this, all over that same first MPV minus 4911. Yes. We are using IRR formula. Yes. The internal rate of return. That's what we can use, no other thing. And this is 16. This is 16 minus 14. Or let's do it so that that's people like it. 16%, Abby, minus 14%. Another question now. Remember, for us to find the cost of debt, we are using internal rate of return. Okay? The formula, let's put it aside. Internal rate of return is the first ratio, which is in this case. Okay, let's say rate Abby, rate 1 plus MPV 1, MPV 1, all over MPV 1 minus MPV 2. We'll close the bracket. We then have rate 2 minus rate 1. So our cost of debt here is equal to 14% plus, so that's what you have seen here. The first rate, the first trial was 14% R1, which is this. In that R1 produced MPV1, which is on top, numerator. The same MPV1 is denominator, and there is a minus there. In the bracket, there is minus MPV2, because our MPV2 was negative, and we'll put it here, and we'll close the bracket. The difference between the first rate and the second rate is what you are seeing in that bracket. And the proposed indication is 0.14, 5153 over minus times minus what? Plus. Please add this for me. This downward. got 10064. Abi? The difference here is 2%, Abi, which is 0.02. 0.14 plus. So, somebody help us. Please divide this.
0.512.
No, wait, hold on. This divide is what?
0.512.
Times this. Times 0.02. 0.0124. You multiply by this. Okay. 10. See like this? 0.1024. Why you adding to this? Oh, it should be you. Like this, Abby? Like this. It's like this. Which approximately would be this, Abby? Am I correct? 15. You have it. So that answer we told you is what? The same. But the question is, how do you get it? You must show them. You can't just say the answer is 15. The question will be, how did you know? But you must go through internal rate of return to get the result. As far as you know the IRR, that will be but you can go back and do some because of this time, the first one, second one is the that's it. Because this is my okay, you say we do like this. As a mathematician, that's what you do. But as someone that don't know maths, you can do that with us. Yes, if you don't put minus here, it can be plus. But if you join living like this, wait now, wait. We're talking about maths because finance is not stay without mathematics. If you just put bracket, I know somebody knows that this bracket means minus. But the person may not know that the minus is multiplying this to make it plus. But if you put minus here, the person will understand that FPV is a negative value. That mathematically minus and minus one plus. Why do you remove this? The person will just believe it's your minus times one number. I don't know. Yes. What I know is that I know whichever way, but at the end, middle will be what? Plus. No, here will be what? Plus. And there's no need to worry yourself. It's individually. Now that I put minus here, somebody may not put the minus, but somebody looking at it will just believe that the number is just there. Yes. And do subtraction. But I don't want that kind of confusion for some of us. The value of the MPV is already negative. We know now. See, because I put this bracket, sometimes it's what I should write. Yes. I follow it. And that thing I wrote here now is not letting me put what? Bracket for somebody to understand. Because you cannot write 2 minus 3. See. You can't write like this. Hello? No, it's not mathematically also makes sense. We already know that. We already. That is the problem. Wait. Hello. That is where I don't want to commit anything. We already know that the wahala. So I believe we don't all know. And remember, I came for those who don't know. Those who know, I just observe. So it's not like this. But personally, you can do otherwise. As far as you understand what you are.
I think those online want to ask questions, sir.
No, you don't put plus. Every always. So what's the formula? You must make sure there is a minus here for the thing to become plus. When we don't put plus straight away, sometimes when we calculate, some people don't put bracket. They will just put minus. Sometimes you see minus. They won't even put bracket. So with this minus, you cannot put minus at the middle without what? The bracket mathematically. Okay.
I think those online want to ask questions.
Ayana, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Please, I don't know how you came about that 3.433.
How will come about?
3.433.
Okay, 3.433.
Yes.
Okay. Look at the board. The formula is 1 plus r raised to power minus n all over r. This is the formula we use. And that formula is to make the thing faster. If you don't want, you can take your time. Year 1, 22,500. Year 2, 22,500. Year 5. And you do it one by, you will still get the same answer. But to run it from 1 to 5 faster, use this formula. And this formula is present value, ordinary annuity, factor. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Well,
0.14 it's supposed to be 0.01024.
which one? No? Is it this one?
Yeah, the next one. The next addition.
This one?
Yes, sir.
If you add it, you what?
It's supposed to be 0.01024.
Oh yeah, let's see. Oh, wait. Don't worry yourself. Oh, don't worry. We don't even need to calculate again. 0.1? 0, 0, 1, 0.
No.
Where is it again?
No, he said that. He said before the 2.
You only see with that 2.
Okay, there's 0 here.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? No, don't worry. He said, let me check. Oh, I don't know this in a calculator. Whether back to the get problem. 0 point.
Yes, you just
Okay.
repeated it.
Okay, what you're saying is that this is 0, 2, 4, I mean. Did our answer change?
No.
Okay, let me still put it 0, 2, 4. And this is this one a wrong answer. I wish I knew. 5, 4, 1. Oh yeah. When you multiply, can this be approximated? Even this one is not even up to what? Right. So if you multiply this by percent, it will be 15.1. It's good. We thank God. But at least we all have calculated. When the person was doing it, we all here. When he was saying it's 1, 2, 4, and I wrote it down, did not see time to correct it. Sometimes when things don't pass, as far as the answer did not change, did the answer change? So because it did not change, would have ignored. This one has small time, don't go. Any other question? So now that we have seen this idea, we will not go too far. Any other question? No, what I mean I will not give stress. But what I mean too far. People go too far, what I get sometimes. The more you go, the more challenges. So is it clear now? Or you still have another question? You know it was written I was there. We saw it, but we have to find out whether it's true. We have to figure that one. That's all. The cost of debt is 70%. That means to get debt into our business, to get the long-term debt to finance our business, it will cost us 50%. That's what I'm looking for. That's all. It's not every time they give you the next question you will see. That means 50%. And I'm going to do the same question. You will see it's different. If it's objective question, we are better. But theory must show. figure 3.
No, 16%.
No, this one is 15% though.
16.
This one is 16%. No, this is 14%.
What I'm saying is that the formula that you use, you're not supposed to arrive at this.
Okay, which formula? Change 1 over 1 plus r. This one, Abi. We have fun. We don't move small, we don't shift. But let me show you how. This is it. This is the one we use. This one is called present value ordinary annuity. When the thing you want to go from 1 to 5 at the same, don't want to waste time. For that method, this one, you want to take your time, do year 1, year 2, year 3. Maybe you want to do like this. Let me show you. Year 1, 2 to what? Year 2. Are you following? Year 3. Year 1, 4. And year 1, 5. So in that case, our discount factor, you know, we have gotten this as 1, I mean, year 0. So we will not divide this one by 0.114, we'll get this. Divide again by 1.14, we'll get this. But if you add all these things, we'll get together. The same thing. So it will be wasting our time for us to be doing 1, 2, 3 exam. But there's nothing wrong if you want to take your time. You will arrive at the same. Is it clear now? So the formula is in order. So try and write it down. It's present value, ordinary annuity factor, discounting factor. So we use it. So quickly sum things from 1 to 10, 1 to 100, 1 to 1 million. In case the natural interest, you can play from year 1 to 1 million. You can't be doing it one by one, Abby. But with this formula, you run everything at the same time. So you must know that formula. Is it clear? Very good. The question is still the same, but we just want to add small thing. We are done with this question. Our cost of capital, the cost of the debt is 15%. Let's go very different, Abby. Oh, no. If you now fix it now, you'll be got all it down. For example, you now fix it 0.15, 0.15, raise it to power, do it, it will give us 1,000. But we don't need that. And that is what we did by trial and error to arrive at the things. Is it clear? Okay, that one don't go. That same question will come. The same question remains. We don't need to waste time repeating things. Figures are okay. Whichever figure they give to you, the idea remains what you say. But want to look at it, whoever want to bring in tax, if there is corporation tax, maybe in that question we copy. The person said the corporation tax was given. Maybe 30% or 40%, depending on what they want. But let's just take 30%. Let's take 30%. That original question, those of us online, the original question is being used. For this time around, corporation tax. That means we are going to question 2 now with reference to question 1. Corporation tax is 30%. If corporation tax is 30%, calculate the cost of what? Debt. No, 30. No. Our original question remains the same. But we are assuming that the organization had a corporation tax to pay. I mean, that there is tax. Are you following now? So when there is tax, so like I was saying, we are believing that the first one we did, there was no tax. Everything went on free. Now the government put what? Tax of 30%. What will be our cost of capital? Will it still be that 50% you are seeing on the board? Will it still be? And that's what I'm telling you. So sometimes you are looking at 50%, and it's not really the cost of what? Debt. Sometimes it may. because there was no tax, nothing is there, everything just went there. When there's tax, the idea remains. Can I claim the board? Those of us online, can I claim?
Yes.
Okay, let me show you now. Pose that question. Okay, we have posted the question for those who are still. Now for today on, the next question, number 2. Assuming there is a corporation tax of 30%. Assuming there's what corporation tax, that's TRB. This tax is what? 30%. We are now in question 2 now. Assuming a corporation tax of 31%. We are still using question 1. Focus on question 1. But tax is now in question 2. And the question says, calculate the cost of what? Debt. Solution to this problem. Our formula has not changed. But this R is where the tax will be affected. This is how the tax will be. All over 1 plus kg, all raised to power what? T. Starting from T equal to 1 to N. Plus our PT hasn't changed. 1 plus kg, all raised to power what? The formula just adjusted for tax. Have you seen it? The first formula, there was no tax. Second one, there is tax. So what we did before is still the same. Our PO is 150,000 from our first question. Our R, I hope it's 25,500. Are they there? Right there. So we our question. Our rate, our what is it called? Interest rate or interest payment on the venture. We got 15% of 150,000. 15% of 150,000. Our tax now is 0.3, which means out of this tax, what we have here is 70%, have it? Because 1 minus 0.7%, that's what we have. All over 1 plus kg, start from T. Okay, this time around, starting from 1. Summation. T starting from 1 to what? 5. Plus this T 150,000. All over 1 plus kg, all raised to power 5. We'll take our time to still readjust this thing. I hope somebody has calculated for me. 22,500 times 70%. 22,500 times 0.7. 15,007 what? Good. All over 1 plus kg from T plus 150,000 all over 1 plus kg all raised to power 5. That's all. Current year is still 150,000. This one from 1 to 5. This is the fifth one. Our cost of debt, you can see that our cost of debt will not be that 50%, Abby. We must work. Yes, so we're going to do it. IRR. No, it's not high, it's still within the same thing. But we just have to try. Anyone will either 13% or 50%. We just have to try. But we know that because that one is 15%, we have something lower. Maybe we can try 10, try 11 or more. We know that there's no way the answer can be 50%. We are shocked that we can't be 50%. So we can try 10, 11, and so on. But immediately you try the first one. Immediately you try the first one, and it gives you something nice. Let me see whether we can try that. I will throw. I will just copy so that we can clean that part and see how we can try it up. Please copy. It's just reminding us of what we have done before. We have done internal rate of return before, haven't we? No, wait. We never did that rate of return before. IRR. I will also some past lesson that time. Some past lesson. No. So if you have forgotten, you need to go back. Go back and check. A smart is time. At time 1 to n. Our n is just 5. Whatever we start from 1, proceed to the maturity group. Are we there? 15,050. Yes. We'll try 10%. At least 10. Let's try 10. Then we'll try 10 is positive. If it's not too much, we'll try 11. And we'll try 10. Let's try 10. We all can try it, I mean. They are very good now. They know how to press calculator. Can I clean this? What's the first online? Are you following?
Yes, we are. Yes.
You are there, good. So we can clean the board?
Yes, I'm fine, sir.
Good. We're still on cost of capital, they all know. What we are doing is cost of capital, they know. Let's remove that one. So, the year 0, year 1 to 5, and year 5. Cash flow is 150,000, which is the current market price at time 0, PO. And this one, 15,750 after tax. So this was 22,500. After tax, this one remains for us. We have given 30% to government, and the remaining part is what they can work on. Year 5, 150,000. So we are moving. Want to try, okay, let's just try discount factor 10%. Let's try 10%. This should be our PV. Maybe we'll try another one a bit. We'll try another one. That one is sure. Maybe 11% for those. And then PV like that. So we'll have something like that. Good. So this is already one. This is the formula to use. I hope you have not forgotten. 1 minus 1 plus r, all raised to power minus n, all over r. Present value ordinary annuity factor. That's what we're using. For this one that starts from 1 to 5. But if you don't like it like that, like we said, start gradually. What matters at the end of the day, you will get the same answer. You can start year 1, 15,750, year 2, the same thing, year 3, the same thing, to year 5. And do it gradually, you get the same answer. So somebody help us the first one. This one is 1 minus 1.1 raised to power minus 5 all over 0.1. Oh yeah. So now we can get 1 to 5. 3. Okay, 3.79. 90. Check. 798 is there. It's 10% though. You all go.
3.790.
Oh, well, you say. Oh. Okay, 08. It's correct. It is 90, which is approximate now.
With approximation.
71, I mean. Okay, the sense okay, I mean. I don't need to bother. Check. Even those of us writing, we check it. It's not everything they say. It says correct. It's correct. Is it okay? Previous question. No, it's still the same thing. Yes. And we got 15. No. That 30% is tax. It's not cost of capital. I'm believing that it's just trial. Remember, it's trial and error. I'm believing that, wait, that the first one will give God 50%. Now that it's tax, I following. You know what? Just try anything. But what is left? Just try anything, but you know you can be confident from 10 up. From 10 up. Immediately you try the first one and it gave you positive. You look at the positive value, whether it's big or small. When the positive value is small, you know that when you try a little bit further, you get negative. I follow. Yes, you get positive and negative. So when you try the first one, just try anything for the first one. Anything you try is okay. But at least somebody tries to start from 10% up, at least. No matter how the cost of capital should be 10, 8, and not rest. So at least try 10. When you try 10, and 10 is giving you positive, and the positive value looks small, it means a little will take us a negative. But let's assume you try the first one, I gave you negative. You go back so that we can see positive. So you're not having two things like that. So you just try. There's no serious formula attached to IRR. You just try. Oh yeah, this one is your what? 5. This one is 1.1 raised to power 0.6209. So multiply this already 1,000 with the negative. Like as I put bracket now here. Hello. As I put bracket now, somebody will put minus. It's acceptable. So minus bracket, anyone you like. So take note. This one multiply this Oh, yeah, somebody.
59705.
59705. Good. The last one here. 93138. Abi? Are we getting positive or negative? This one negative? Are you sure? Okay, I am. Minus what?
30284.
Are you sure? It's positive now. Why you put that negative?
Almost 60K.
I don't care now.
It's positive.
This plus this is 150,000. Eh? This is 150 now. It's positive now. Ah. No. See. This minus 150,000 plus this.
God must multiply.
Is it? Thank you. Or pen mass. You know pen mass? Don't wait. There's pen mass. There's body mass. There's even big mass. But they're all the same. Big mass. They're all the same. What does it all mean? It's going in both mass. What does it mean? That was the those things. But it's wrong. That O is order. Order, which is something as indices, exponent. Yes, things don't change. And that time we did permanent. I will still kind of reach it. 2,000. Is this wrong? Okay, 135. Okay, 139 naira. So this is now 2. Like this, Abi. Positive, Abi. Good. So we are moving to 11%. That was wondering. We said 10. I know it's positive. I don't know, but I want to say it's minus. I believe the one. Let me check whether it's true. Okay. 11% now. This is 1.
What if we do 12%?
It's a choice. You know, say I made it 12 now. Why did you can use 12? No light stress. Let me use 11%. Here is 1. And here is 1 2,000. With the minus. This one. Oh yeah. Help me. This one you will do now. 11% of it. 1. Oh yeah, this one. This other one will be 1. Here 5 is this one. 1 to 5 is this one. Yes. So like this. Which one? 3.6. Okay, 3.6959. Good. And this last one? 0.5935. I am multiply. Our cash flow times this factor. 15,015 times 3.6759. What do you have? Those of us online, I hope you are following.
Yes, sir.
Are you there?
Yes, we are here.
You are lost. Are you lost?
No. I'm fine. I'm following.
So you are following?
Yes, sir.
Good. One what? 35? 582. Like this, have you? This one got 2,000 times 8. Are you sure it's 89025? Oh yeah, this will be minus, Abi. This will be minus. What are something thousand? The minus is more. This is minus 150,000 plus this to give us minus 2765. Minus, Abi. Good. Is it clear? Any questions? The same thing we did the first time. It's what we are doing, right now.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Please, sir, what is your choice of using the DF at 10% and 11%? What was the reason?
No, there's no reason, but we believe that interest rates, you can try anyone you like. Immediately you try any value you like, and it gives you positive. The second trial will let you know what to do, because if my positive, for instance, my NPV here, after trying the first one, was positive, and I'm getting 2,000, which shows it's small. So the next one I will try to let me know that I will get negative, either 11% or 12%. But assuming this figure was like 30,000, I know I should go far. The figure should be larger so that I can get a negative. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So finally, in this question, KD, we are still in one cost of capital, just one. We have not gone to two. But why are doing this one? This one is one that is even more challenging. Preference is not that much. That one is very good. So we have 10% plus 2, 8.0, all over 2, 8.0, minus 2765 into 11% minus 10%, all like this. Somebody help us. This is 0.1 plus numerator 2, 8.0. Add these two together, become minus and minus plus. Oh yeah. Who is adding? 5605. Okay, this is 0.1 Abi. No. 1% Abi. 0.01. Good, 1%. So somebody help us. That same pattern, there's nothing different. When you don't follow it, it becomes so interesting. You just have to practice. You don't come to class and just copy it and go. Come. No, you just have to practice. After today's job, you should go, whether at midnight, practice it. They say practice makes perfection. Those that say it, they know what they are saying. They knew.
Esther, please mute.
Oh, so.
Are we there? So nobody has gotten the result for me. This divided by this times 1.01. What do you have? 1 1. 0.005. See like this? And when you add, you have 0.1005. I mean,
0.105. Remove the 1 0.
So this one.
No, final. The other one.
Okay, this should be.
Yeah.
0.
No.
Okay.
1. Yeah. 0. 5.
I mean, 1050. Okay, 1050. Thank you. So approximately 11%, Abby. Yes. We agree, Abby. So that means that the cost of debt is what? 11%. The other one was 15. So that's why I say, don't there looking at the percentage does not actually tell us that's the answer. So you have to do it and get it. The second one, I'll just show you. You need to do that yourself. Yes, what is it? We have told you how to do cash flow. You know how to multiply. But we just want to look at what we call this third question, the third question, using that same first question. But this time around, there's what we call flotation cost. For instance, if you want to float or you want to sell new shares in stock exchange, are you correct? It will cost you something to float it in the market. Am I correct? Even ordinary markets, for you to carry something and go to market, it will cost you something. Am I correct? The astrologers and all the babalogers will collect money. So for you to even display your wealth, so there's a cost. The same thing for you to sell shares, whether the venture whatsoever you want to sell the stock exchange, it must cost you something. There are professional fees you will pay. There are stamp duties you will pay. All these are what we call flotation cost. And that cost will only affect the current market price because it is that price that takes the market to sell. So it will affect the current market price. Just like if you have spent so much money in displaying your wealth, I want to market it, it will cost you something. And that cost will affect your cost price. Am I right? Then it affects your what? Selling price. So the same thing with the stock exchange. For you to, issue a new stock or a new debenture, it must cost you something. And that thing will cost you is what the stock exchange market will collect, professional fees, stamp duties, and so many other things. Yes, and SEC will collect. So all those things are called flotation costs. Not like tax. It will affect, this one will affect current price. Another one affected what? The fixed interest payment. So let's see how it will go. Copy? Yes. Notice, it does a 10.5%. No. You're using whole number. You can't stress yourself now. If I use 10, you give me negative also. You will change. 12% will give me negative. And I'll get the same answer. But because we're going to look at positive and negative. Jordan, assuming I have tried, or I tried 9% and it gave me positive. I tried 10, it gave me positive. And I tried 11, it gave me negative. That first two positive, I'll just choose one with the negative. Because we can't take negative, positive, and we can't take negative. Except whereby there is an issue, it doesn't understand. So let's see how we can handle this one. Definitely the topic will finish today. We know that. Because we have not done anything. We are still on one thing in different fashion. And this is the last one on that part. No, it's the same thing. There's nothing to do. We're just adding flotation cost. Our question 1 remains, have we? I'll just write on the board, write small thing. Small more. Any questions? Those of us online? Any queries? Those of us online, any questions? Okay. What it simply means that number 2 is with tax. There is tax. Number 3, we are now adding rotation. Yes, tax is still where it is. We're still using our 30 what? Our 30%, Abi? Our 30% is still there, which already we know, or we'll just put everything together so that we understand. I'll just, re-echo that so that we understand what the thing is all about. Can I clean? Everybody? Okay. Let me even see. Okay, we can do that one. Just we have tried. We have done IRR 2 times. The 3rd time should not be necessary. We'll just tell you what to do. That at all. This is question 3 now. Our tax hasn't changed. It's still 30%. Our question 1 remains. Question 2, tax is still there. But now, flotation. Flotation cost. Let's say our flotation cost is, okay, let's say it's 10%. Because it's not always much. It won't be like that of tax. Now, we expect you to calculate the cost of debt. The cost of debt. That means our question 1 is in tax. In that question 1, we're now adding tax and adding flotation cost to make the thing complete. So there's nothing much there.
Sorry.
But yes.
Please, this question 3, are we adding it
To question 1.
Okay, not
Or adding it to question 2. But I've already reading question 2 out. So let's say reference to question 1. We're adding all this. So everything will be there. But let's still take our time to remind us our current price still 150, Abi. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So that somebody can still recollect this solution. PO is still there. PT is still 150, Abi. But now from our original question 1. N is 5 years. What else again? R is 15%, Abi. In case they have forgotten, 15% 1,000 is still what? 22. What is it? 22 what? 500. Abi. I'm just trying to recollect. So let's now write the question properly. The formula is still intact. The formula will now be PO into 1 minus F. So that the flotation cost will only affect the current price. Our rates is still like this. All over 1 plus KT, starting from T being equal to 1 to what? N. Okay, in this case, let's say T5, plus PT, all over 1 plus KT, all raised to the power of N. There's nothing difficult there. But not going to so serious. Yes? From question 1, this is it?
So the cost of debt was 10%.
Yes, exactly. Government introduces tax. You get 11%. Tax, you reduce something and will increase it. What does tax do? It's tax friendly. Do they collect money for tax? But I want to just know that if you pay tax, the money will not remain the same. Your money will remain the same. It will have implication, definitely. Even common VAT that is on your phone. When you send credit, they collect VAT. So it is affecting things. You even pay more, I mean. The same thing with the electricity bill, I mean. The same thing. They pay VAT. So it makes you to pay more. It reduces your income as well. Because it's from their salary and you pay that money. If there was no VAT, you would have paid less. So because there is VAT. Because the first time there was no VAT. I was not saying if there is tax, our cost will be higher. But because other parameters remain the same. The market price was the same, everything was the same. But because they brought in tax, it just affected that investment. Like this flotation will only affect current market price alone. So from our simple arithmetic here, this will be 150,000 into 1 minus 0.1, Abi? 90%, Abi? 90%. 90. This minus is 90. You know, the word is available is not 90. But rotation has taken 10%. What's available for them is 90. You want this, wait. This is 22, Abi? No, we have already gotten that 57, Abi? Agreed? Over 1 plus kg, starting from. Yes. Abi, everyone have read before, Abi? We are just trying to put the same thing we did before so that we can see how the formula works with all. So we have here, starting from T equal to 1 to 5 plus 1 to 2,000. This one wasn't affected. The what is it called? The face value did not do anything. Nothing is coming down. Is it clear now? Any questions? Remember, the flotation cost affects only the current market price of the debt. This one, we know this already. We know tax already. The last one did not affect anything. That's how they take yes on the cost. Let's just see how we can just. Any questions? We don't want to put it on the board. You can be able to complete the rest. PO is the current market price. PT is the face value of the debt or face value of the debenture. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. Price same. But when you know the market price of a particular, that's also the face value. Just like your currency, the face value what is it on top. That's the market price. You can. Yes. You know, it's flotation cost. It's market matter. So this is current market price. So is that market price the affect? Is that okay? So, any other question?
So are we also solving?
We'll solve it same way. I'll put it on the board. You solve it there. It's something you can solve. But I'll just tell you what it is. We have to get cost of the agenda. This is what 35,000 again. Somebody. I hope you're getting it. Then I will also try. A trier can just match something. Those of us online, any questions? Yes, go ahead. Did we jump any steps? We are continuing. We have done tasks before, Nadi. Have we done tasks? No, wait. Hello. Question 1. Hello. Look at this. Question 1. Does it have task? Did you understand that one? You understand that one? Question 2. Was there task?
Yes.
We did that one. Question 3. We now added flotation. Inclusion of what we know before. We're not changing anything. Because in examination, let's add everything is together. There's tax, there's flotation. Will you do it one by one? So we're looking at everything that is this. Everything with tax and flotation costs at once. Right. But why we are doing it separately is because we are starting it. Next week we'll do the one everything just once. Just finish that. But this one we're taking time one by one. The remaining 2, which is a preference share and ordinary share, those ones are not difficult. We don't need IRR to do it. That one is simple calculation. So we don't need that. But we just write the formula down and show what, like that of preference share is not much. I'll just show you. That will not waste time. 2 minutes we are done. So any question with this now? So from one indication, just to show you what I want you to do on your own, for what you have been doing. I will also tell you what to do, everything. Here, yes, Ravi, 1 to 5, and then 5. Cash flow, 135,000 agreed. Because this one, this times this, our current price is not 135,000. This hasn't changed, I mean, but these are our tax. And this one is still the same thing. We have the discount factor. You just try what you like. I urge you to try 13. When you try 13, you get something here. You try again, maybe at 14%, and be able to do all we did before. So when you finish it, you now get your what? KDIB. KD will be 13%. I'm giving you that's the right thing to do. So just take your time. MPV1 all over MPV1 minus MPV2. But it's minus. Just check it out yourself. It should be right. This is 14% minus 13%. So when you do it, you get the real cost of work. We can't repeat all that again. There's not even time again. It's almost that's where at least we all know IRR. So that's where we're going to leave it. But any question? Remember there are 2 more. That one is cost of preference share, cost of ordinary one share, which is equity. In that one, we're going to take another 2 questions. That will not take us there. 1 question that will just take care of everything. But so that it will be easier. T and N. N is 5 now. Oh, I didn't put 5. Yes, it's 5. N is still 5 now. It hasn't changed. And T always start from 1 now and terminate at 5. That's what we saw. You saw 1 to 5 in the question. Yes. Any other question? Those of us online, any questions?
Hello, sir. Please, how did you get the 135,000, the cash flow?
135,000?
Yes.
And you just multiply. The flotation cost is 10%, agree?
Yeah.
So 1 minus 10% should be 90%, agree?
Yeah.
So 90% times 150,000 will give us 135,000, which is the current price. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Any other question, both online? And those of us physically present here, any questions? Which one? Oh, this T. Okay, out there is a interest payment, fixed interest payment on debenture. Our debenture was 15%, 15% of 150,000. And that's what I showed somewhere. So, but this particular rate was tax. There was tax on it. Question 2, there was tax. No, 30% is tax. No, it's different. No, it's different. This is different. We're now in question 3. And question 3 has flotation cost and tax. This R, the 15% of this is to calculate R, which is the fixed interest payment on the venture. Now that fixed interest payment is taxed by government. That is why I say 1 minus T. Good. Another one. 125, 135. Okay, I got it. Is here 150,000 times 0.9, Abby? Because 1 minus 0.1 is 0.9. And when you press calculator, you get? Okay. Anyhow, shall press calculator, you should get 135,000. Is it clear? Well, on that note, any question? You still have? Oh, yeah. Okay, later. So on that note, that's all we can take for today. God bless you. We'll continue by His grace next time. Until then, bye for now.